So this song is called A Better Me. I have spent all my life trying to get right. I wanna be a good girl, although you know it's hard at times. It's not easy, but I'm trying. But if I could turn back the time to change the past and do it right.
She is talented and beautiful, ladylike and poised, and humble. Her voice is very unique, powerful, yet gentle and honest. She is known many in the Philly area and around the globe. Yet somehow, she's slightly underrated. She's the singer and can dish anything that you throw out at her. Yeah, she's a businesswoman and an educator. She's a Philadelphia queen, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Carol Riddick.
And do it right. If I could right the wrongs I've done, remove the hurt from everyone, I would take the bad and make it good. But nothing tries to what I should. I do believe I make that me. Sometimes it seems that no powers and they don't want to see me rise. Although I know it's not that way, it sure feels it. I'm crying. Can't do it right if I can right the wrongs I've done. Remove the hurt from every want to each and everything that I should. But inside, I know I don't deserve all that he gives to me. And inside, I do have what it takes, but I doubt me when I'm
Good evening, Miss Ray. How are you?
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for that introduction. Thank you. I am well. Thank you.
It's an honor for me to uh, interview you this evening. I was doing some research. Um, I know a little bit about you. I've seen you many times. We've even chatted
Mhm.
a bit in the past, but there were some things that I found out that were very interesting that I didn't know, and I think viewers want to know some of this stuff. And so later on in the interview, I want to touch on it and let people know and expose them to another side of Riddick that they might not know. Yeah, I think it's very interesting. But like most interviews, let's start from let's start from um, are you a Philly native?
I am. I was born and was raised in Philadelphia, South Philadelphia to be exact.
Mm-hmm. Oh, South Philly. Okay, South Philly. Now, as a child, were you always interested in being a performer? Growing up, did you want to be a performer? Did you start in church and you know those like that? Did you what made you want to be a singer?
You know, it's funny. I've told this story a few times in my life. When I was growing up, I loved music from the start. And I had so many influences. My mother loved Barbara Streisand, Lou Rawls, and Johnny Mathis, and Donny
Mm-hmm.
Hathaway. And my uncle, he had all of the bands. He had Brass Construction, Mandrill, and LTD. And my cousin, she loved Dr.
Mm-hmm.
Buzz's original Savannah band. She loved Tina Marie, Rick James. So I had those influences from my family members. So I was soaking it all in and I just loved it, loved it, loved it. But every time I would sing, my family would say, "Oh, somebody shut that child up, please. Somebody just shut her up." So I didn't think I could sing. I didn't think I didn't have any confidence in my voice or think I could sing until my teenage years. And then after that, the bug bit me and that's been it.
So, what was the age, or was there an event that made you say, "This is it. I'm going to go for the performance thing"?
I was in high school, so I was maybe in my sophomore or junior year when um, when I said this is something that I definitely want to take seriously. I was, of course, my studies were first, and I had every intention of going to college, and I did. I went to Temple and I studied communications, but I only completed 2 years, and because I was so. Uh, Actually, when I left college, I left to take care of my mother, but at the same time, I had intended prior to her taking ill, I had planned to pursue music, and I did my first tour at I believe I was 19 years old. I was 19. When that was with Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Okay, okay. Now, was there ever a plan B in that whole scenario? Was there a plan B? Well, if this doesn't work, I'll be a nurse or I'll be a social worker. Was there ever a plan B in all of this?
Yes. So for years, I maintained a job in the corporate arena. I love legal studies, and my minor in college was criminal justice. So I always maintained a job as a legal
Mm.
assistant, doing defense litigation, working for law firms, because I just, I felt well if as long as I kept a skill, if I was not able to maintain a career as a vocalist and songwriter, then that would be something that I could do that I enjoyed. So
Yeah, that's wonderful. Now, um, before you went on tour, were you in any local bands?
Yes, yes, yes. The first band in which I sang was the Maximum Level Band out of Philadelphia. I love them, love them, love them. And you know, I let everybody know every chance I get because they were the ones who helped me to hone my skills. They were the ones who are responsible for the confidence that I had to actually pursue being a vocalist. I don't think they know that, but
Ooh, okay. Now, who were some guys in the band? Do they still play? Are they tour with different people? Because you know how Philly musicians are. We're pretty good,
yes.
and
So
everybody wants a Philadelphia musician.
yes. So Unchi Fritz Johnson is his name by birth, but Unchi is his nickname. And Unchi, the Maximum Level Band was Unchi's baby.
Guitar player.
Unchi, there was Reggie, who is no longer with us, but Reggie, Harry, who is no longer with us. There was Toby, um, there was Kevin, and there was
Mhm.
well, yeah, Terry was the other member of the band, and they all, as far as I know, I believe they're all still playing. And also, Unchi's brother Toby, he used to always come to our rehearsals and to our shows when he wasn't on the road. He was actually the drummer for the Force MDs for years, so that was fun too.
Right. He's actually a mentor of mine. So
Who doesn't love
yeah,
Toby?
Toby's a mentor, and he played in Change and
Yeah,
with Jackson MDs and Unshi's a great guitar player too.
yes,
They're
he.
good guys.
No, I mean, really, 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 just genuinely good-hearted people. You know, good-spirited, good-hearted people, and it is because of them that that I'm here.
Mm, that's fantastic. Um, Matter of fact, I'm gonna let them know that if I get a chance, I'm gonna let them know what you said, or I'm gonna let them get the link to this interview so they could see that. I think they'll enjoy it. Um, Now, when you went on tour with Jazzy Jeff, after you came off of tour, um, did you take the writing route, or did you take the solo route, or where did you go from that point?
So I wrote I was an in-house writer at A Touch of Jazz, which was Jazzy Jeff's studio. So
Mm,
I was an in-house writer um, while I was in college. So I was going to school, and I was at the studio afterward. Um, but
hmm.
it was there that I did both actually hone my skills as a songwriter, and when you're demoing songs, you're honing your skills as a vocalist as well. So it was there that with Craig King and Jay Bright and everybody that was at the studio, the people with
Yeah,
whom I worked, I got to exercise my skill and sharpen it.
that's a wonderful thing. Now, there's a there's a story. There's another person who was doing the same thing, and you became friends. A lady named Jill Scott,
Yes.
who was, I guess she was painting or. Now, were you writing for Jill at that
No.
point? Did you with her?
No, no, no. I did not write with her or for her. So when I was at A Touch of Jazz, Jill was not there. She was not there yet. I was there when
Okay.
with Jeanne.
Mhm.
Jeanne was there at the time. Jean Norris, Jean Baylor.
Yes.
Yes, Jean Baylor and
Yes.
Renee Neuville. Yes. So they were because we were all in school together. We were all Renee, Jean, James Poyser. We were all at Temple at the same time. We were all there, and
Wow.
we were all at the studio together as well. So, Mhm.
Wow, do you keep in contact with Jeanne
I
still?
sure do. Well, Jean, I speak with Jean frequently. I haven't spoken with Renee in a good while. I feel terrible saying that, but I do. I speak with Jean and Marcus. Actually, they wrote a song for me on my sophomore project called "Beautiful," which is it's a phenomenal song, a song which I love.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. And I heard that you sang at Will Smith's wedding. Is
Yes,
that true?
yes. I sang at his first wedding, his wedding to Cherie Zampino. Um, it was an absolutely beautiful of course, but it was a beautiful wedding. It was.
Hmm. Now, do you stay in contact with Big Will?
Big Will. Well, actually, his dad was Big Willie, I don't talk to Will often.
Right, right,
Yeah,
correct.
yeah, but yeah, we're still cordial. Yes, we're still friends, but I don't talk with him. We don't call each other and say, "Hey, what are you up to?"
Okay, that's cool. Now, I know, after that, um, you were signed to Motown Records. Now, was I missing something before Motown? Um, I know I have some friends of mine who know from the records that were released, and they were big over there, but they were trying to make noise over here with it.
Yeah. Wow. Oh my goodness. So yes, it's so funny. It's all so fuzzy to me. But when I was signed to Motown, that was after having worked with Jeff and Will. Jeff and Having
Mm,
worked with Jeff and Will, that was my introduction to the world of touring and to pursuing my career as a professional. So, and the tour with them was a ten rap group tour. So that was my very first tour. They Working with them in the studio was my very first time having done that as well. Um, and then after them is when I began to work with other artists like Les Nubian and Jill. But prior to having worked with them was when I was signed to Motown. That was I think maybe 95 or 96. It was when Gerald Busby and
yes.
Steve McKeever were there. But
Okay.
as when my project was complete, the powers that be changed hands. So then I was under Andre Harrell.
Mm, mhm.
Mhm. As under
Okay.
Right, right. So and there was a lot going on then because there were a lot of things change, a lot of changes being made. So after Motown is when I went back on the road working with other artists.
Okay. Now, I have to admit that I remember when the record came out, but I was ignorant to some of the cuts. And when I was doing my research, I ran across a song called I Just Want to Feel You that was not released, but in England, a lot of promos went over there and it would circulate more on the underground thing. And I gotta say, that's a sharp record.
You
That
know what?
and then
Oh
the
my
record with Chuck Rock is smoking too.
goodness. Oh my goodness. So what happened was I love that song, "Just Want to Feel You." And Jasmine Guy had originally wanted that song. She was going to do
Mhm,
that song, but she conceded and allowed me to have it. Thank you, Jasmine.
mhm.
But so my project under Motown was completed. I'd finished recording it, but it was never released. They released the single "Take Your Time," which was the song, the dance song that I had done with Chubb Rock. They released that
Right.
in the UK. That was the one that was on the charts, but they never released it in the States. So there's a whole group of family that I have overseas that is familiar with me because of "I Just Want to Feel You" and "Take Your Time," my collaboration with Chubb Rock that no one knows in the States.
Hey, let me ask you something as a writer. How name the people you wrote for. I think people would be interested in some people you wrote for and collaborated with.
Absolutely. So most of the songs that I've written are my own, as my own music. But I did collaborate with Jeff Bradshaw.
Can you come on tonight? I really want to see you. Can you come over? Shake the sun around. Come over tonight. I want something from you. It's a delight for you. And can you come over tonight? I really want to see you. Can you come over? Change the time. Can you come over tonight? I've got something for you. It's a delight for you. Oh,
I have been a feature more than anything on the projects of other artists, as opposed to being a writer on them. But my writing has primarily been on my projects, but I have written for other artists. It's just that I can't think of them right now.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's 51 or what. I don't know what that is.
Okay. Yes. No, it's that you've done quite a bit of work. You put some work in, and that's always a good thing. Now, I'm going to ask part B to that question. Who would you like to write for? You never wrote. Who would you like to write for in your wildest dream fantasy? I want to write for that person. I think I can put that on it.
That is a great question. I love the textures of Gladys Knight, the legendary. You just can't say Gladys Knight. You have to say,
Hmm.
yeah, the all of the adjectives. But I her voice is just the textures of her voice. I just feel like I could really write some beautiful music for her. Just to name one.
Okay. Okay. That's a great start. Now, I recently seen some video of a project you're working on, and I loved it. And the Simone project that you were with, Mr. Beasley, Timmy, and a good friend of mine, Aaron Graves, and y'all killed it. Y'all killed it. Now, what got you into that project? Who asked you to be in the project, or did you volunteer, or how did you get
Oh my,
into that particular situation?
you know, first let me say that I love love being able to interpret that body of work. Um, I was asked by the
Hmm.
Veasleys, Mr. and Mrs. Gerald Veasley. And when they first asked me, I mean, of course, excited and I jumped at the opportunity. But then I realized I did not, and this is, I always explain to everybody how embarrassed I am to say this, but I didn't know as much about Ms. Nina Simone as I should have. I feel I should have. You know, I was familiar because I was familiar, but I really did not know. And
Hmm.
I feel like you know, after having done some research and after being able to live inside the music, you know, for a while now, it's such a blessing to me. I thank Roxanne and Gerald all the time for inviting me to participate, you know, with them in this venture. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, how's it going so far?
It is going awesome. So this month of November, we're performing the tribute at South, November 5th, 12th, and 19th. We have two shows each night. And it's been great. It of course, South is following, you know, COVID restrictions, so everything, so everybody can be safe. We're maintaining a great social distance, and you know, we're following all of the COVID restrictions. But it's just been, it's been wonderful to say, you know, that's such an understatement, because it's been so fulfilling just to number one, feel the spirit and feel, you know, everybody in the room. It's of course with reduced capacity, but it feels so good to just share that time, that energy, that space, that spirit, and our gifts in person, but also to be able to live in the project and the music again, because it's a lesson for me every time. I tell everybody I feel like I am it's a full meal. It's a full meal for me, you know. So
Yes.
I,
Now, I've heard you say that. I've heard you say that on stage about music. Now, as a singer, is it emotionally grueling? Is it, or how does it challenge you because the material is so it the moment was complex, and in order to deliver, I know you had to dig deeper into, into yourself.
It,
How's that challenge, with
it,
that?
it, you know what I feel like the challenge in it is not allowing myself to go too far because it is taxing and it is grueling because it's
Hmm.
raw, because it's real, because it's gritty. That's our reality, you know. And in order for me to
Hmm.
interpret it, I have to feel it, which causes me to emote, and it makes me do so deeply. I don't know that you should be able to sing Strange Fruit and not feel that and not see that. You know, you
Yes.
shouldn't be able to even speak the lyrics of the song itself and not feel that, not break down. Like you know that I don't understand that. And then when you take into consideration just the being that she was, you know, Miss Simone herself, you understand her complexities, you know, as an artist, as a woman, as a writer, everything that she was dealing with, you know, with regard to mental health. And
Yes.
when you take all of that into consideration and you think about the beauty that she shared, you think about the how she was able to let go of herself to share with us, you know, how, and you think about her struggle, just her struggle, period. How can you not appreciate her body of work? How can you not appreciate her? How can you not appreciate the message in it, the reality in it, the rawness in it? You know, it calls, you know, it calls for your
Yes.
attention. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Yes. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Now, did you see the documentary they put out in a couple of years on her?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I watched the documentary. I had not done so at first. When I first you know, when the invitation was extended to me initially, I had not yet seen the documentary. I started living with the music and just digesting the music itself, and then digesting the lyrics and really getting
Hmm.
into that. It was a while. It was a good while before I actually saw the documentary, and I'm I'm a very passionate person, but I'm very sensitive. So I have to
Hmm.
pace myself with things. I have to
Understood.
I have to, and that was what I found it necessary to do. So,
Understood. Understood. Wow. Well, I think the viewers, once they know, maybe we'll put something up um, after the interview, where you're going to be, scheduled, so they can see you perform this music. I think it's a great thing, it's a treasure. The musicians you have are stellar, and I'm glad that you're on this project. Now, speaking of projects, um, this is one of the last of the music thing before going to something else. Is what what's next project wise for Carol Riddick, or and what what do you want to do project wise? Is there anything that you would like to tackle as a performer? Again, you go, I want to try that. I want to try this.
it's interesting that you would ask me that because I have asked that of myself in the more recent past. Um, and I've not yet determined what that is. I'll be honest with you, because um, I've not yet determined what I want my voice to be. You know, I feel like I accept the responsibility that we
Hmm.
have as an artist and as a vocalist, as a performer. Um, you know, we have a platform, so I don't take that lightly. I don't take it lightly at all. So I've been actually thinking about what I want my voice to say, what I want my message to be, what I want the tone and overall feel of a follow-up project to be. I'm grateful that right now we just completed the recording of the Nina Simone project. We were recording that, so I am grateful to be in that space because I'm able to live that out, to that. It's been a wonderful thing just recording that project. So for me personally, I'm still determining what I want to say and how I want to use my platform.
Now, when will that be released? Is there a date, a slated date on the release of the recording?
That I wish I had an answer. I have to ask Gerald. I will have to ask Gerald and Roxanne to find out when. So,
Mhm.
because we literally just most recently finished recording. So, and then because we're in these uncertain times, I don't really know how the world is moving in certain arenas. So I don't know yet.
Understood, understood.
Your looks are lovable. Oh, photographable. It's your my favorite work of art. Who is your figure? Less than green is your own. The children wake when all hands to speak. Are you sure? Don't change one little bitty thing for me. No, baby, no, baby, no, baby, not if you really do care for me. Steady, let your body shine. Each day is, oh, every second, every minute, every hour of the day is. Oh, every breath I take reminds me of every moment with you. Every second, every minute, every hour of each and every little day. Oh, it is. It is. second, minute, and hour of every little day is Valentine's Day.
Now, I want to ask you about some other things. Um, you're a photographer,
Yeah.
product, correct?
Yeah, yes, yes is the short answer. Yes, I am. I love I'm a still shot person. I love taking photos of nature and architecture. Um, I'm I'm huge on settings and nature and architecture. That's my niche.
Now, I've seen some of the work. I've seen some of your work, and I was like, oh, she's pretty good. And I know you also like pets and some of the photos that you take. Now, you also have product. Viewers where you can get the product, or where you can see and you could purchase the product. I think the viewers would like that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that because I have not, you'd be ashamed of me. I've not told a soul what it was wrong with me. But yes, so the images that I take can actually be printed on products. And so I've actually bought some of my own. I need to post that. It can be on clothing. I have a dress of mine. I took a photo of City Hall and it was on a rainy day. So I call it Rainy Day Philadelphia, but I have it on a
That's cool.
dress. It's my rainy day Philly dress, but you could, different products. I have a canvas bag as well. But in any event, I have an Instagram page, Carol Riddick Photography, and my link on there is it'll take you right to where all the product is, and you can actually see pictures of the photos on the products, so you'll see what it is you're purchasing. So yeah.
That's great, and we're going to put it up. Hopefully, when people see it, they're going to buy the screen, and at the end of the interview, we can see and they can purchase that particular product. And I wanted to touch on, and you have your own podcast,
I
uh,
do.
conversations.
Oh my
Okay, let's
goodness.
let's touch on that. Talk about that.
Yes, yes. So I started a podcast called Conversations Inside the Music with Carol Riddick. And I thought about, we
Mhm.
as entertainers, in the pandemic, when the pandemic first started, I thought about the disconnect I was feeling from the world. And
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
in thinking about that, I also started thinking, well, people, they don't know that I would feel this way because they don't really know me. They don't know what I do when I'm not on the stage. They don't know much about me outside of what it is that they see when I'm performing, or what I share on social media. So I thought it would be a good way to share with those who have a connection to the entertainment industry with the rest of the world, who they are outside of the profession for
Hmm.
which they are known, or known most. And it's been successful thus far. People, I love that, everyone that I've asked to participate has done so, and willingly, and they just, it's literally just them having a conversation with me, something that we do. So when you listen, I love that they're sharing, we're laughing, we're talking about all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I'd like that. Now, where can you see it? Where can it be? Where's it being broadcast on the internet? Because we'll put that up as well. But let the viewer know
Yeah,
where they could see this.
thank you. I have a YouTube page, Conversations Inside the Music YouTube page, and you'll be able to. You'll, as a matter of
Mhm.
fact, if you subscribe, you'll be notified when the new episodes become available. But yeah. But what I
Okay.
should say? I
Yeah, and
should
we're
share
gonna
too.
we're gonna put up as well.
Thank you, because it's everywhere where you typically listen to your podcasts. It's on Apple Podcasts. It's on Amazon, Google, Stitcher, iTunes. iHeart, TuneIn. It's on all of the major digital platforms. On all of
Hmm.
the digital
Hmm.
platforms. But I have a YouTube page. In the event you just want to just go quickly somewhere with which you're familiar, you can go to the Conversations Inside the Music YouTube page.
That is so cool, and I will be definitely visiting there because I want to see what you're up to in that arena. And I know that you were president of NARS for a while, and I believe you're still a part of NARS. I want to talk about your educational interest in educating people. And I think that's very important for viewers to know that besides a performer, you're an educator.
Thank you for touching on that. Wow, you have really researched me. Yes, as you said earlier, as you stated, I worked as an employee of the Recording Academy. Some years past, I was the executive director, and then I went on to run for the board. So I was a board member, and then I became
Mhm.
the chapter president, and then I'm now a national trustee. But in addition to that, my I am an advocate for education. And that's across the board. No matter your age or demographic, I feel that knowledge is power. It's been my experience that knowledge is power. And I also believe and was taught that, you know, each man teach a man. My mother was really big on that. And that's something for which I'm eternally grateful, because I really do believe that we should all help one another out. So um, it's so important to me to help those who they may simply need information, they may need help with a skill. If it's something that I can help with, then I'm your girl. Let me know. If I can't do it, then I will make every effort to find someone that can and point you in the right direction.
Okay, now do you plan on taking maybe the educational thing to another place as time goes by, maybe teaching or instructing at a college or school?
Well, I will tell you.
I know some of the performers who got older, people like Patrice Rushen, like they took what they had and they do implement it with younger people.
Yes. Well, so I have not formally been trained, so I do not feel that I am equipped to teach anyone. But I do currently work with the DASH program, Destined to Achieve Successful Heights. And it is a program that
I was
provides
going to
music.
ask you about that.
Yes, it provides music education for young adults, and that's something that
Mhm,
fulfills my desire, you know. And the kids love it. They love
mhm,
it, love it, love it. So I work as the program coordinator. In the past, I've worked as well as an educator,
mhm.
just with regard to my expertise. But I work as the program coordinator, and like I said, it really does fulfill me because just watching the students like learn to write a song and actually learn about production, it does my heart. It's like a hug to my heart.
Yes, yes, yes. Now, how can a young person get into that program? Is there an age restriction, or is it from age this to that? And how can a young person be part of that?
So typically, the program works in conjunction with the school or with a young adult organization,
Mhm.
like like the Boys and Girls Club or the YMCA. So it would be if they attend one of these organizations, or if the program is has partnered with one of the schools, then they're eligible.
Okay, now how is that working now since now they told the children in Philadelphia that it's going to be virtual and until further notice. Is the Dash program still available, or is it virtual, or are you guys going to go virtual with that?
Absolutely. So when we would host the program in the past, we would physically go to the location. But
Mhm.
once the pandemic hit, we created a virtual model. So we've been virtual for months now, and it works well. It actually it works wonderfully, to be honest with you. um I don't know if anyone else loves it, but I happen to love it because we're able to reach a wider audience and a larger group of kids, and you know it um it works well that way. And two, because of the integration now with a lot of the different applications, we're able to do more uh virtually.
Love it, love it. Now, so a child has to be involved in the school in order to get the program. Um, hmm, is there information that the viewers can get to see if their children can be involved in it? We'll put that up as well, but let the viewer know
Absolutely.
where they can get this information.
Yeah, so right now what I can do is share the website with you. Programs.org is so you can find out more information about the program.
Hmm.
It's Michael MacArthur, Jerome Hips, and Brandon Penke. Michael MacArthur and Jerome Hips are the co-founders, and Brandon Penke is the executive director. Calvin Price, Critical, Crystal Typewriter Oliver, and Ivan Barrios are our educators who teach production and songwriting, and I am the program director. But as I was explaining, the program itself becomes it partners. We partner with the school districts, the schools, and different youth organizations. So at the very least, what you can find out is information about the program overall and who everyone is and what exactly what we do. you know.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's wonderful. Um, we're gonna put that up as well. We're gonna
Thank
publish
you.
information either either or both at the bottom of the screen and at the end of the interview where viewers can get this information. Um, Ms. Riddick, it's been a pleasure and an honor to speak with you. Um, I'm a big fan. I'm always going to be a fan, and I really, really appreciate your time and coming to the rec shop
L-
show.
Listen,
I
I
appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys more than I can express and more than you can imagine. It means a lot to me that you're interested in hearing anything that I have to say. So I thank you for the invitation to come and
Absolutely.
chat with you. And please, please, please give my love to Mike. I love Mike Ashley. Give my love to Mike, please.
Okay. Yes. Thanks so much. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to one of Philadelphia's reigning queens of entertainment, Miss Carol Riddick. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining the record shop this evening, and come back. And hey, don't leave yet until you get this information I'm giving to you about her performances and the education and the photography. Get all. Okay. God bless you. I'm Kyle Vereen. Peace. God bless.
I don't deserve all that he gives to me. And this night, I do have what it takes, but I doubt me when I'm Be a better woman, yes. Be a better